That Jalango has made public that is going for the senatorial seat of Nairobi. If this is your first time interacting with our channels, please hit the subscribe button. If you take a look at our channel, you'll find we are somewhere around 3,400. And so if you had not subscribed and you interacted with our channel and you press the subscribe button, perhaps by the end of this particular video, we will be somewhere around 4,000. It will also help you to receive these political updates as they happen in the Kenyan political scene. We pride ourselves as the #1 impartial political podcast in Kenya, and so if you get here, then you will get the news as it is from the ground. So just hit that subscribe button. We add you as part of our community, and also we help you get political stories when they happen. So let's go back to the main story. The main story is that Jalango is now declaring for the senatorial seat of Nairobi. First, before we even get into the analysis, let us know in the comment section, what do you think? We were just celebrating the rise of Sifuna and Babu the other day. So if Jalango and Babu were to be on the ballot, who would Nairobi vote? Let us know in the comment section. And as you do that, we want you to open your mind and think clearly, because Nairobi is bigger than Langata, that is one. And Nairobi is unique when it comes to its voting pattern. Sifuna, very vibrant, very strong, the Secretary General of the ODM party, holding rails post Baba okay, and Jalango, an entertainer, a comedian, someone who through just the channels of comedy got into the Member of Parliament seat, and right now seems to be having the right resources behind him and some power forcing him to go to the senatorial seat. So your comments again in the comment section. Now let's delve in and start on this story. Sometimes back, Eric Omondi declared his interest for the gubernatorial for the position of Member of Parliament of Langata, and when Eric Omondi declared his interest to become now the next Member of Parliament for Langata, Jalas tweeted and told him, Eriko bana, go to Embakasi because Babu Owino is getting out of that particular place, go contest there and leave Langata to me. So at that point, Jalango was still eyeing the Langata seat, pardon me, not the senatorial seat yet, but the Langata seat in 2027. So it's safe to say that even by the time Baba was connecting with Sayun, Jalas was left as the next hopeful for the same seat in Langata constituency. So Eriko had done a lot of stuff with Langata constituency, delivered food pale at South Sea, was involved in Nairobi West activities, and people started to feel that if Eric Omondi is going to face Jalango on the ground in 2027, then Eric Omondi might have an advantage over Jalango. Now you see, with Langata, you would say previously it was Raila Amolo Odinga's constituency, Kibera largely. Then it was Nixon Korir. And Korir fought very, very hard to secure that particular position against Jalango, but then Jalango won in 2022. And the reasons why Jalango won in 2022, among other factors, was of course the low factor in Langata constituency too. Jalango was popular because of the media space. A lot of people, almost everyone in Langata knew Jalango. And at that particular time, the fresh spirit, because of course Korir had served for quite some time, so they needed someone fresh. But if you look at 2027 race, Eric Omondi is more vibrant, a comedian just like Jalango. Eric Omondi is in the media just like Jalango, and Eric Omondi has been doing a lot for the people of Langata when Jalango has not been doing that during the term of Jalango. So this particular race was going to be equalized in Langata in 2027, and most likely Eric Omondi was going to floor Jalango flat in the Langata constituency seat. So something happened after Eriko declared interest. Jalango, the likes, Babu Owino, members of parliament from the 17 constituencies of Nairobi, some of them were invited to a TV station. And here Jalango said something. Jalango told Sifuna that Sifuna might be a very, very good Secretary General of the ODM party, of course, but is not a good senator for Nairobi. At that point, it was just a political comment. A member of parliament for a constituency within Nairobi feeling that the Secretary General of his party is okay as a Secretary General, but is a poor legislator. Now you remember, Sifuna was actually faulted for the by-election that happened sometime in Mathare, where the ODM party, which is the predominant party in that particular area, lost to DCP. And so certain factions of the ODM party felt like if Sifuna was to oversee that particular small by-election of an MCA seat and it went to to DCP, which is a new party in town, then how strong is Sifuna with the people of Nairobi? To the extent that even when he was asking people, we detailed it here at the People's Mirror, I think last year, when he was asking a lady to say his name and win 1,000 bob, the lady said he does not know the full names of the Secretary General of Nairobi. So that question, that story went down the drain, but the feeling was there that Sifuna perhaps did not have an inept connection with the residents of Nairobi. Now, why was I saying that Nairobi is unique and different? Sifuna is vibrant, and I do not dispute that. Sifuna is now almost, you'd say, a national leader from the look of it. He's vibrant, he's known across board. Sifuna can pull crowds in Busia just the same way Sifuna can pull the same crowd in Kibera. Sifuna can even go to, Nyanza and pull a rally without any of the ODM other officials present. Sifuna has gained that national stature when it comes to his politics. But his role within Nairobi, his connection with his constituents, how deep is that? There is a weak link. And perhaps now the united opposition are looking at Sifuna, but the government is taking a look at Sifuna to destroy Sifuna's politics locally. You see, Sifuna will lose a lot if he does not maintain the Nairobi senatorial seat. Jalas will lose very little if he loses the Nairobi senatorial seat. And the big man had warned Sifuna, told Sifuna, hey, we were some of the founders of this ODM party, and if you keep misbehaving the way you're misbehaving, we are going to call the founders of the ODM party. And of course, discipline. ODM at 20 was convened in absence of Raila Amolo Odinga, and that is where the founders sat, including the big man himself. And so what happened? Sifuna still kept his vibrant touch, so much that he stormed Busia, and when he stormed Busia with Babu Owino, everyone was in panic. This could be a presidential ticket, but at that time Sifuna was still just eyeing his seat in the senatorial seat of Nairobi come 2027. So what happened is that after the Busia issue, Jalango goes public, and now he says he's going for the senatorial seat of Nairobi. So at this part, we want to just play that particular radio exchange between Jalango and his friend, of course, Alex Mwakideo, and he's talking about his interest. And then we bring this back to the People's Mirror to analyze what is going on. Who is instructing Jalango to go on this race? What meetings have been had? Who is remaining with Langata? Is it even a sure ticket for Rico right now if Jalango is going for the senatorial seat? But primarily, how are they going to face Sifuna, and what will be the fate of Sifuna if by any chance or by any magic hand Jalango secured the senatorial seat of Nairobi? So let's get into it.
Badilishi uongozi ambayo imedhibitishwa. Sasa tunakuuliza ya katiba ya chama cha ODM.
Ndio nakuuliza mheshimiwa mbunge wa Langata, mheshimiwa Jalango, ndugu yangu, rafiki yangu, wakati ambapo kampeni zitaanza rasmi, kipenga kitalia, utakuwa unazunguka Nairobi nzima kuwania tikiti ya ODM ya useneta kwanza, alafu baadaye kuwania useneta, Mwenyezi Mungu akikujalia inshallah. Bas, katika kule kuzunguka kwako ndani ya ODM, utakuwa unalinda ground Abbas asimame Langata, wewe usimame useneta, ama ilikuwa ni vipi?
Hapana. Marafiki hawawezi kutana tu, wanaweza kutana tukakaa pale,
unasikika pale
gumzo,
korida kwa seneta.
Hiyo ni maombi mazuri sana.
Seneta.
Maishani unaweza taka kupanda, unaweza kuwa na hamu ya kupanda. Labda ameiona ile uongozi wangu, akasema basi wakati wa Nairobi ndio hii imefika. Saa hizi bado tuko Langata.
Unajua watu wanazungumza kwa sababu gani? Unajua tena chochote ukiona wanasiasa wanaketi kwanza wakati huu kuja kile kwamba campaign zimefunguka. Na unaona kwamba wanasiasa, kwa hiyo unajua ni PS katika lands pale vile ambapo ndio alikuwa
tu PS tu ndio nilichukua
former Langata
pale Langata vizuri sana.
Yes, kumbuka pia ni former Langata pale. Alafu ya kuangalia pia Abbas pia, yeye pia ni MC upande wa
South Sea. Na nataka kuwa mbunge wa Langata.
Unataka pia kuwa mbunge wa Langata. Na kumekuwa na HEATS hapo na pale, kuna ushindani kati yako pia na Abbas pale vile. Kampeni zikiendelea pale. Maybe watu wanakisia kwamba maybe kuna kitu kinapangwa kati ya mheshimiwa Felix Oduor, Abbas na Korir. Je, kuna chochote kinapangwa mheshimiwa?
Hakuna kinachopangwa. Hakuna kinachopangwa. Na nataka unisikize.
Kipo mheshimiwa.
Nataka unisikize. Ndio. Siku zote mimi sipangi. Mimi huamua na naendea.
Alright.
Unaelewa? Mimi naweza kuambia naweza kuwa governor Nairobi,
ndio,
na naweza kuwa senator Nairobi,
okay,
naweza kuwa mbunge wa
ndio
wa Langata, unaona, na naweza kuwa mbunge wa pali popote hapa Nairobi,
right.
Manake nimetembea, nimesikia,
ndio,
nimeongelesha, why not?
Okay, clear the airwaves. Yanayozungumzwa ya kwamba Mheshimiwa Jalang'o ataingia kiti cha useneta kama 2027.
Ndio kweli ama ndio tunaendea?
Mkono Mheshimiwa Jalang'o.
Nikuulize,
utaendea kiti cha useneta Nairobi?
Utaendea.
Basi
Nairobi. Kama ndio mnataka niseme nitaendea basi.
Kwa hivyo unaonia kiti cha useneta?
Ndio,
Nairobi.
Bas,
okay.
Kwisha. Sasa okay, twende polepole.
Okay.
So ule mkutano ambao ulikuwa uko pale, kile kikao, naona mlikuwa mmekaa kama mandugu, mnacheka, mnafurahikiana kwa pamoja. Na Mheshimiwa Abbas MCA wa South C pamoja na Mheshimiwa Korir former Langata MP and right now PS wa Lands, na wewe Mheshimiwa Langata MP right now. Kile kikao kilikuwa pale. Mlikuwa mnapanga nini? Kwamba Abbas asimame Langata, wewe usimame useneta, ama ilikuwa ni vipi?
Hapana. Ile ilikuwa ni kikao tu ya kupanga Langata, mambo ya Langata. Kulikuwa hata na MCA.
Now before you go deep in this particular conversation, which was interesting because you can understand how evasive Jalango was trying to be in the beginning, a lot will come out of that. But first, let's analyze a few things from this far, just from this far. Now, PS Land, Honorable Nixon Korir Generali, is actually the former member of parliament for Langata, loved by the people, a very chilled guy. Jalango himself admitted that even during their entire campaigns, they never met face to face and clashed because they could talk through the phone. When Jalango was in one part, Korir would go to the other part. So their friendship had existed even before, and that is where when he lost, of course, Korir went and congratulated Jalango, and then after that, he got himself the position of PS Land through his connection to the big man. And now there's a guy called Abbas who is the MCA for South C. And then there's Langata, member of parliament, Honorable Jalango. So from this particular outlook, this is how the image looks so far. A meeting has been held, Sifuna needs to go. And one way or the other, Sifuna needs to go. So who is going to replace Sifuna that Nairobi people would love? They look around, they settle on Jalango. And the reason why these people would settle on Jalango, that is if the planners of Jalango's campaign, of course, goes beyond Jalango, is the fact that Jalango is a media personality. Now, Langata might not vote Jalango again in 2027 because of internal dynamics. And also, Langata is big. It has people in Karen, it has people in Langata itself, it has people in Nairobi West. And these particular communities are diverse. Of course, you remember the entire Indian community that Jalango was talking about, that is around Wilson. The dynamics, the voting pattern of these business people and these people who live in Langata is different compared to the voting pattern of the entire Nairobi. And by Nairobi, I mean the 16 other constituencies that are within Nairobi. Now, whereas Jalango cannot consolidate support for Langata, or will, with the difficulty in the Langata area in 2027, if you look at it as now the Nairobi area, Jalango primarily might have influence more than Sifuna, truth be told. Jalango is a media personality. People love him in Mathare, people love him in Embakasi, people love him in Langata, people love him everywhere. Out of the 17 constituencies that form Nairobi, Jalango's name is more prominent than Sifuna's name. Now, with the right resources, with the right strategy, in a good campaign team, because later on when it's being asked, are you going to use the ODM party or are you going to use the UDA party, he says he is going to use the coalition that the ODM will be in. Now that's also another interesting fact, because the ODM party might get into a coalition and a part of it might remain. If the other part of it goes to the united opposition, vibrant voices like Sifuna and Babu will still be loud, but Jalango will now be enjoying the resources that will coming out of the coalition that the older party has joined in. And as he said, when they were in Embakasi, walikuwa jeshi wa baba, sai wao ni jeshi wa Ruto. So most likely he's going to join the UDA wing, but still use the ODM ticket in of course Nairobi. He was later even asked if he loses the ODM ticket, then what happens? He says he is still going to be in the Senate race of Nairobi. So what this means is that Jalango is prepared to join the Senate race of Nairobi. Now the interview is as trying to impute doubt and say, is this your internal call, or is this as part of the talk between you and the PS, and of course the arrangements between you and Abbas? If Jalango leaves Langata, PS Korir is going back to Langata, and if PS Korir is going back to Langata, is going to floor Eric Omondi in the morning. So what they will have done, they will have restored the position of PS Korir in Langata. They will have given Jalango a bigger position, which is the Senate position, which would have come to him by luck, because the aim is not to get Jalango the senatorial post. The aim is to destroy Sifuna, because if Sifuna loses the senatorial post of Nairobi, yet he vies in that 2027 seat, then his influence over the party might also dwindle down. So this is a political chess game that has been played to the checkmate game before it even begins, and Jalango might not even be a knight or a bishop in this game. He might just be the front pawn that is being pushed just for the senatorial seat, for more political chess moves to happen. Now, little more into this particular interview, I just want you to listen in on what Jalango says when he's trying to be cornered on which section of ODM is going to go with. But as it stands, Jalango is facing Sifuna, and the forces behind Jalango might be something that Edwin Sifuna has to rethink about. Let us know in the comment section, what do you think of this? If Jalango faces Sifuna in the seat, who is most likely to win Nairobi and why? Let us know that in the comment section as we delve deeper into what he said.
Wengine pale tulikuwa kama wote tu, unajua Korir anaielewa Langata, alafu MCAs wengine pia walikuwa pale na basi pale, lakini ile picha akatupata tukiwa watatu tulivyokuwa tumekaa. Unaelewa? Hakuna kinachopangwa pale. Lakini siasa ina mambo mengi. Siku kwa siasa ni mwaka mzima.
Nikuulize swali lingine.
Siwache nikujibu. Umeniita kuniuliza ama kunifokea?
No, sikukupokea. Wacha jibu. Haya, maliza jibu lako.
Si ndio? So pale tulikuwa tumekaa tu ile tu katika kupanga Langata na kujua kuna maendeleo kadhaa, kwa sababu rais anatembelea Langata next week tena. Pale affordable housing atakuwa anapitia, alafu kuna TVET atakuwa anapitia, kuna mambo mingi atakuwa anapitia. Alikuwa kuja hadi Kongoni Secondary School, lakini tayari mimi mwenyewe nilikuwa ni launch. Sasa tulikuwa tunaona ni wapi na projects gani anaweza kuwa anapitia pale. Katika ile harakati ya gumzo, ile wakati nilikuwa tunasalimiana, ndio nilikuwa ninaingia katika mkutano, nilikuwa nimepata pale. Ndio mheshimiwa Korir akanisalimia akisema senator, kwa sababu tayari imekuwa ni mazungumzo ambayo yapo.
So tayari ni mazungumzo yapo. The conversation that Jalango can actually be the next senator of Nairobi County, and the person that was releasing this to the public is Honorable PS of Lands Nixon Korir, who left that particular position of MP, or rather was defeated in the previous election for Jalango. So if these conversations are already going on, then they're going on where PS is involved, then where are they really going on? So that the first time the public is interacting with this, Jalango is already wearing the name senator even before running to it. So it also points something. The cohort that is supporting Jalango for the senatorial seat is so sure that if they put Jalango in that particular seat, Jalango is going to give Sifuna a headache. This is coming at a time where Sifuna's position in the ODM party is being attacked left, right and center. They're just consolidating power, and the people love them. The people are saying that even if they were to front themselves as a ticket, then the people would contribute to ensure that they win. We received those comments in our comment section when we detailed the new ticket episode between Sifuna and of course Honorable Babu. But in the wake of that, they're dealing with now a bigger storm where a popular media person, a person that can pull an event in Nairobi, and Raila would attend and Ruto would attend, and it's just a Luo festival being pulled in Nairobi. A person that if he holds the mic, the Nairobi listens, Honorable Jalango, who for quite some time has been off media because of his member of parliament seat in Langata, is now also fronting himself for that seat. Then what is in it for Sifuna, and what is now Sifuna going to do? Now these conversations around Jalango's senatorial seat are coming at a very, very interesting hour. We will keep you updated on whatever happens now when they start their campaigns, where they start their campaigns, and which side of the campaigns they are going to be with, if they're both in ODM. While one aspect of them will be lindering ground, another aspect of them will be lindering Mwananchi, we do not know. But we hope to see how it unfolds. and who wins and loses this race in the 2027 seat. Another interesting thing to even state as we wind up this episode is that even the Sifuna senatorial seat is not cast on stone, whereas people might feel that the neutralization of Sifuna would be to have Jalango in the senatorial seat. Sifuna himself can wake up tomorrow and declare for a different other seat than the senatorial seat, so nothing is cast on stone in the Kenyan political scene, and one move of a player just prompts the other player to also move another piece within the board. And so the MCA for Kilimani has commented, Kileleshwa has commented on this particular story, saying Jalango is demoting himself to come up from the MP for Langata to go for the senatorial seat for Nairobi. According to Alai, Jalango should have moved from the member of parliament of Langata to, let's say, for example, MCA of Nairobi West. I don't know how Alai thinks or how he resonates,